Hey cloud gamers, and welcome to the Cloud Gaming Stream channel, your destination for all things cloud gaming. With Xbox Cloud Gaming supposedly getting the Series X blades for Destiny 2, we thought we'd have another look at running on an iPad of how it performs on Stadia, GeForce NOW and Xbox Cloud Gaming. Now you can see here that Destiny 2 on Stadia is by far the fastest to load still, so whether the SSDs have been upgraded in Xcloud is yet to be seen for Destiny 2. But definitely Stadia still having the speed advantage here, being in at 149 all the way to the planet, with GeForce Now and Xcloud 25 seconds behind at 214 and 216 respectively. And we do have a bit of time of day difference at the start here, so we're going to skip into some inside gameplay on this planet so that we can see a bit more closely. But as we jump down here, we start to see a few quality differences straight away. As we come into a first shooting section, one thing we do see is a bit more brightness on the GeForce Now and Xcloud side, and Stadia does seem to have a bit more fuzziness around the characters and the background environment, with GeForce Now looking very sharp and Xcloud now looking like it has had some upgrade. And as we come to the quality section, as we freeze here, we can definitely see that Stadia is lacking on the quality side in comparison to GeForce Now and Xcloud, but it is still quite close, and when we are full screen with Stadia, it's not as obvious, and if you're playing on the screen you won't notice that much of a difference. One of the big things you will notice the difference on though is input latency. I played on the Stadia version first and input latency was an absolute minimum. I played using an Xbox Series X controller on Bluetooth for all three platforms to keep it even, and Stadia had barely any latency at all. GeForce Now had some noticeable latency but wasn't so bad. Xbox Cloud Gaming had by far the worst input latency. It wasn't unplayable, but it was definitely noticeable and did not make the experience as enjoyable as on Stadia or GeForce Now. But Stadia's input latency is still king here, even with Bluetooth controllers on mobile. The iPad here performing absolutely fantastically on the visuals, so it really was a letdown for GeForce Now and Xbox Cloud Gaming to have that input latency. So we do the same section here on GeForce Now, we can see not much of a difference now with full screen. Only when we are side by side do we see a bit of graphical improvement. But we have no screen tearing or pixelation on Stadia or GeForce Now here as we're moving around. As we come onto Xbox Cloud Gaming full screen, straight away we start to see a bit of pixelation, and you can see in the movements that the snap movements aren't quite as precise or as I would expect. Therefore the aiming is still a little bit off of where that you'd expect it to be, and the input latency, as I said, was noticeable. Although it wasn't completely unusable, it did not make the experience as enjoyable as it could be. So let's put Stadia and GeForce Now side by side here. Again, we can see a little bit more blurriness on this Stadia side, but there really isn't a lot between them. And on a small screen, you are going to really struggle to see those differences. However, when we put it next to Xcloud, we do see quite a bump in the graphics side, but that input latency really does kind of counter it, and I would much rather have a smooth experience than a beautiful one. And finally, as we put GeForce Now and Xcloud together, again now we can see just how clear that GeForce Now image is compared to the Xcloud, as we've got a bit of fuzziness. Now we've got this huge brightness. GeForce Now showing its quality here. As we go into the tunnel section here then, we see that dynamic brightness on all three, but now we can see the contrast differences and the massive improvement in quality on the Xbox Cloud Gaming side over GeForce Now and Stadia. So we do think that it is running on an upgraded version now, but Stadia still the best overall here. As we show off a bit of the superpower, so we can really see those lightning effects full screen in a dark and light environment. Stadia not having any issues here and still looking absolutely fantastic full screen. As we do the same on GeForce Now, to me the image on GeForce Now does feel like it's a bit cleaner, and we do seem to have a few extra effects on those lightning bolts and on the reflections on the ground, but you could feel slight input latency versus Stadia. And then we come to the Xbox Cloud version. Again, you see some pixelation here and there, but the lighting and lightning effects here are absolutely beautiful. So if you can get past that input latency, the graphics on Xbox Cloud are very good. There is one other point here that is especially apparent for Destiny 2, and that is price. Google Stadia allows you to play Destiny 2 completely free, and if you're going to be playing on mobile devices, then the 1080p base free tier is going to be more than enough for you to get your Destiny 2 fix. However, if you want to play on GeForce Now, you're going to need a Founders or Priority membership, with Priority being $8.99 a month now. And if you want to play on Xbox Cloud, you'll need an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription at £11 a month. So if Destiny 2 is your thing and mobile is your game, then Stadia is definitely the cheapest and best way to play. But if you are already a GeForce Now Founders or Priority member or an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, you can still get your fix on mobile, but you will have a bit more latency on GeForce Now and Xbox Cloud Gaming. Let us know in the comments below what you think of these three platforms and whether you will be playing Destiny 2 on iPad anytime soon. Thanks for watching, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things cloud gaming, and we will see you next time.